a brand new business. So go on. So UI, the UX, sorry. UX, like I said, is more of the UX is more of the user experience. So great user experience is achieved when user can effortlessly and enjoyably interact with a product or service to achieve their desired outcome. Here are some key factors that contribute to a great UX. Number one, the experience must be user-centered design. So when we are designing a product, it must be user-centered. User-centered, like I said, we don't make assumptions. What you are designing is not about what you feel. For example, I may be designing and I just naturally like a light blue color. I just want light blue. I want it easy. That may be my own personal taste, which is not your user's taste. The end users do not like that color. So we have to focus more on the user. That's why it's user-centered design. The design of the product or service should prioritize the need, the goals and behavior of the user, not you, the designer. Because sometimes, I do graphic design too. When they tell you to design something, most time you want to put in your own tastes because you like this color, like this picture. You want to force your own taste into the product. No, a good UX, a good user experience must be the end user's need. It must address the end user, not the designer. This means that design, I'm continuing to read, that design should be intuitive and easy to use, and the user should not have to go out of their way to figure out how to use the product. So when we are also designing, we'll make it as simple as possible so that people don't get confused, they don't go outside. Again, number two, accessibility. The product or service should be accessible to all users, regardless of their physical or cognitive ability. I've said that before. If you are creating an app, maybe just the button, make sure people with big thumbnail are able to access it. People with long finger or short fingers can also access it. The color is not too bright and shouty. All these things you have to put together when you are designing. Again, usability. Number three, the product or service should be easy to use and navigate. Users should be able to find what they are looking for quickly and complete tasks without frustration. So when we are creating an app, all these things we should put at the back of our head. Consistency. The design should be consistent throughout the product or service. This means that elements such as color, typography, and layout should be used consistently across the platform. So maybe after you log into the app, you discover that the next screen, some people will design an app, the next screen, the color of maybe the next button is blue. By the time you click on it, the next page, maybe it has a next button or submit button. Then you give that button another color. That's inconsistency. You need to make sure if the color, if you are designing an app and it's white and blue, that white and blue must go across all aspects of the app. So this is just giving us what makes great user experience. Feedback. The product or service should provide feedback to users as they interact with it. This includes providing clear error messages and startup updates and acknowledging user input. So this is just giving us things to just put it at the back of our mind when we design app. Speed. The product or service should be fast and responsive. Users should not have to wait for long periods of time for the product or service to load or respond to their input. So also when we are designing app, we need to put all these things in mind. That we must make the app very fast. That means the type of images, I believe some of us know is most time people advise SVG files as compared to JPEG or GIF. The reason I think SVG is lighter and it's faster to load. So all these things you need to, if you don't know them, go and know more about them. There are a lot of things you can put into your app design that makes it fast. And also we'll talk about it in today's class. When we get there, I'll remind us. Aesthetics, the design should be very appealing, visually appealing and engaging. This includes using appropriate colors, typography, and image to create an attractive and enjoyable user experience. So last class, we asked the question, the first class, that is design a process. I don't know if we were in that class. How many of us were in the first class? We can just use the emojis to respond. Can you hear me? Okay, we have Eric was in the class, Internet, Aminat was there, Isaac was there. All right. Okay, so we have like just 4 people. So can I ask again, is design a process, true or false? We can answer in the chat if we cannot. So Isaac said it is a process. Who disagrees?
True, it is a process.
Thank you. Who disagrees? Okay, so design is a process. It is true that design is a process. So here is like the breakdown of the process. And in the breakdown of this process, this gives us the summary of our UI UX class. Everything you are seeing on the screen now is the summary of our UI UX class. Today, we'll be dealing with the first one. So we are looking at design process. From this definition, says design process refers to a systematic approach used by designers to solve problems and create solutions. Don't forget to have been given an assignment. Go and think of a business that either is existing that you want to make better, or you have a business that does not have any app and you want to develop an app for it. Go and think about that business. Any business to, I think the acronym is B2C, business to customer, any B2C company, business to customer company. Go and think of any. Pick that one. And once you pick it, this will be your project for this course, all through this course. Once you pick it, you start, each class we are having will be pushing you further step by step to the completion, which is the implementation and launching of the product. We just create an MVP. MVP is called minimum viable product. We'll create that. It's more like a demo of the application. So at the end of the day, let me enable my pen. Sorry. Okay. So at the end of the day, this will be our final end, which is more like the demo of the app we are creating. So like I gave an example, maybe it's GTB, you are saying that this their app has issues. You may just, we are not saying, GTB is a very big company, for example, is a very big bank. They have different products. Just pick a little aspect of it, maybe from the welcome screen to the login page, to after you log in, how it displays your balance, and then you can create another screen of maybe you want to transfer money to somebody. Just first screen is okay for this class. As time goes, you can keep practicing and making the app richer and all that. So we are not saying you go and do something extremely complex. A project of maybe 6 screens, 7 screens is fine for this class. It will give you an understanding of the UI UX class, the subjects as a whole. But today, we are picking on this for today. We are picking on defining the problem. So let's say I've picked a company. The first thing to do in the design process is to define the process. Well, the problem, sorry. When you define the problem, for example, like I said, GTB, it may be that I, as a user, I find it difficult to navigate the buttons. It looks somehow to me. Maybe you've also had somebody who is complaining. I think I've seen lately I noticed on Facebook, if you click on a picture, for me, I don't know if it happens for any other person. If you click on a picture, it comes out with this screen. So the close button, like it hides under another text, somehow like that. So I'm unable to click on it. What I have to do is to refresh the page. That is already a problem. I've noticed that. I don't know if any other person have noticed it. That's if I'm checking Facebook on my laptop. That is already a problem that I've defined here. So if I've chosen Facebook, for example, it may be that aspect I want to address. So I've defined a problem with Facebook that I have problem when I click on one image on Facebook. When the image expands, the close button goes behind one. I see one black text like that. So I'm unable to click on the close button. That's defining. You've already defined the problem. So in choosing a company, like I said, if you choose an existing company or you are working on a brand new project, you need to define the problem. After we finish this class, we go to research and ideation. So research and ideation, what it does is for you to, like I said in the first class, we don't develop products, we don't create solution based on assumption that, oh, this is what they would like. No, you don't do that on UI, UX. You don't base it on assumption. You have to do research. We'll talk about this research as the class goes on. I think today I put it in our class today because I want us to move with speed. We talk about some research methods. Some of us who have done it maybe based on our, the course we did in school and all that. Maybe you've done some researches where you create questionnaires, you create a focus group. By that, you are going to gather data. The data you gather, some of them too, you may have to go meet managers in companies. Depending on the type of business, you may have to go meet their manager. You may have to go meet the member of staff. You may have to go talk to them. You do research. And then in this ideation process, it's just for you sketching your solution on paper. Usually ideation is done on paper. You sketch it out. When you sketch it out, maybe you are 4 in a team. You can start breaking the process. Okay, after this one, we do this. After that one, we do that. You can continue to, you can even continue to break down the process and revisit the process. So that is what is done in this ideation level. After you do this, we then move to redefining the ideas. So you already have ideas on paper. You define the ideas. Make sure, okay, are we sure this next step is fine? You may want to revisit it. From there, you now create a prototype. Prototype now, that's where our Figma comes in. The last class we did, where you now use the app to create the prototype of the application. And in creating the prototype, you are working with everything you've done in redefining your ideas, everything you've written down when you are ideating and doing researches. That's what will influence creating your prototype. When you now create your prototype, you will have to test. Figma has it in a way that you can go into demo mode and it will look as if it's a live app. When you click on it, it gives you a screen you think is actually the app is already designed. It gives you that preview. So you can actually send it to maybe 10 people to help you test it. So maybe you may not necessarily put maybe the username and password, but you just tell them to click on those buttons, they will respond. Click on those buttons, go to the next screen. What do you think? What do you, get their feedback? So here you test and evaluate. They may give you feedback. Sometimes you may omit some things, and they'll tell you, no, when I was trying to go to the next page, this happened. When they tell you that, you need to go back again, maybe to your prototype, go and modify it. And then we go to implement and launch. Implementing and launching, at this phase, we pass it on to our front-end developers and the back-end developers to start bringing it to life. They start putting the code to make the application live. And if you see, it says you should iterate. So this process, when you even get to this implementation and launch, you discover that you may even have some problems with it. Perhaps the process you wrote down, that this from this level we go to that level we go, you may discover there's a faulty aspect of it. If you discover that, you iterate again, you find that problem that was just highlighted, that, oh, we had a problem at this point, redefine the problem, do research about it, redefine the ideas, create, at this point, because you've already done it before, you modify the prototype, test it again, go into process of implementing and launching. It is never, even you will discover that even an app that is already launched, they still tell you to update. You see, most time the apps we use, it calls for update all the time. It's because the people at the back end that develop that app, they continue to do this process all the time. This is what calls for update of softwares. They will continue to redefine process problem when somebody complains. Oh, I cannot, maybe your app, when I was trying to upload my CV on your app, it froze. That's a problem. You define the problem. Do research. What type of file were they trying to update? Is it PDF? Is it a Word document? Is it another one? You need to know, do that research. Like that. Modify the prototype. You keep going. It never stops. It never stops. Even look at our operating systems. It never stops. They keep bringing Windows 10. From Windows 10, we go to 11. They keep going through this process. It never stops. So this just gives us, for me not to talk too much, gives us the whole concept about UI, UX. Sorry. Okay, so there are two ways to define and explore. So we are going to the first one. The first one here, which is, let me clear this thing. Yeah. So the first one here, defining the problem. We'll go into that. There are two ways to define a problem or to explore problems. One, we do it from the customer perspective, and secondly, we do it from the business perspective. If you recall, let me see if I can quickly go. We spoke about in number 6, what makes great user experience. Here, we said the product or service should be fast and responsive. Users should not have to wait for so long. Yes, here, in this place of this point 6, it also has effect on business perspective. If you create an app that is heavy, for example, that is heavy, it consumes space. You discover that from the business perspective, you are going to pay people doing your web services. Maybe you are using Amazon Web Service. You are going to be paying them more. The first class we had, somebody spoke about the app he loves using. And he said the reason why he loves it is an educational app. He said the reason why he loves using it is because the app is fast. He said because the app is fast, it's cost material, he can download it on time. He has spoken about both from the customer's perspective and the business perspective. For the customer's perspective, a very fast app, let's say I want to download a 4 pages PDF file, and they've really optimized it. It was able to download on time. Number one, from the customer's perspective, it is saving you data. You know, in Nigeria, for example, a lot of people try as much as possible to manage their data. So if an app will save me my data, I will go for it over the one that will maybe take some time. Maybe I have to initiate the download, then I will quickly maybe go get something, then come back. I'll go for the one that is fast. You know, I'll go for that, the one that will save me money, that will not eat up my data. That's the app I will go for. So when we are defining products, these are the things that comes to our head in defining this product from the customer's point of view. Is it going to be beneficial to them? Is it going to save them money? And from the business aspect, like I said, if your app is heavy, the files people are downloading is heavy, you discover that it's going to cost the business itself money. And every business is out there to make profit. Every business is out there to make profit. So when you are developing an app, you need to think for both the business owner and the customer. Because if you are thinking for both of them, that's what will make them hire you. Because they know that in hiring this person, he has our interests at heart, and he also has our customer at heart. So when we are defining a problem, we need to define it from the customer's perspective and the business perspective. So like I said, you need to know who your target markets are. If you are creating an app that is educational, are you educating children? If it's children, let's say the app is for kids, you know the colors, of course, children will love colors. The pictures you'll be using will be maybe cartoonish type of pictures. You're not going to look for maybe corporate, somebody wearing coat and tie. You need to understand that. What problems do we have? You have to understand how well are we solving users' needs and problems. So that's once you have all these things in your head, we've talked about how the company makes money. We develop a very heavy app, it's going to cost the company money. They are going to pay if they are like I said, if you are using Amazon or you are using the Microsoft one, if your app is too heavy and all that, it comes back to the company. They will pay so much for all those services. And how do you stay competitive? If your own app is slow and the other app is fast, everybody will go for the fast one. You have to know how to stay competitive. So in putting all this in mind, we'll be able to define problems. So today's class, I've highlighted this. This is what we are dealing with now. So the first one, defining problems from the customer's perspective. Can we still hear me, or I'm just flying?
We can hear you, sir.
We can hear you clearly, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Yes, just to be sure. So it is very important to understand your customers. I've said it before. Why do we need to understand our customers? Because we don't know who they are. You need to understand your customers. I made the illustration when we started. If you are supplying shoes, for example, and they call you, please help us supply 500 shoes to our school, you need to know who your customers are. You can't just base assumption. Okay, we've been having this stock in our store for this one, nobody has bought it. And then you just go pack everything because you want to empty that store and give to them. It may not meet their need. You need to understand who, because we don't know who our customers are, we need to understand our customer. We don't know why they choose us. You don't know why they choose you as well. You need to understand that. We don't know why, know what or who they are comparing us with. You don't know. So you need to understand your customers. So like I said, we can't fly blind and rely more on tuition than customers need. So we can't base anything we are doing on assumption. You cannot base, you can't just fly blind and rely more on intuition than customers need. This can't make great product or service for them. So because we cannot do this, this takes us into our class today. What are the things we need to do? What are the things we need to know so that we come out with good product for our customers. So in UI, in UX design, the target market is captured in an artifact called personas. So like I said before, I give an example. I'm trying to make this thing as simple as possible for all of us. I give an example. If I am a shoe supplier, although we are dealing with digital products here, but I'm just using a physical product to drive down the point. If I'm a shoe supplier to a school, I cannot just fly blind like the last slide we saw and just go and park. Like I said, maybe I've been praying to God that I have this 1,000 shoes in store. Nobody has bought it all this while. And then miraculously a call comes in. Please supply us 500 shoes. And then I shout, oh, hallelujah, my prayer has been answered. And then carry everything to go and meet them. I may get there and discover that even the shoes did not size anybody. You know, it did not size anybody at all. So that's why we cannot just do things in assumption in UX. So one of the tools that are used is called what? It's called a persona. A persona, to break it down, is more like a sheet of paper. I have a sheet of paper here. It's more like a sheet of paper. In our next screen, we'll see it. It's more like a sheet of paper that will capture data. So let's say, coming back to my example, a secondary school called me. Oh, our student will be resuming very soon. We'll need 500 shoes because they will do inter-house sport very soon as well. The best thing I would do, if the school itself do not have their records, is to go with user personas to that school. I'll go with user persona to that school to go capture data, to go know how many boys. At the end of the day, all the personas I have. So the personas, the English is just big. It's more like a question paper or a form. Let me put it that. So anytime you hear persona, just remember it's more like a form. It's just more like a form. So don't let that big English scare you. So you always hear it in UI UX, user persona, user persona. So that persona is that form you take to meet each student. What is your name, your size, your age? What color do you prefer? You know, it is that persona that will now influence your supply. So I've just broken down what persona is so that we won't think it's one big thing like that. So in UX design, the target market is captured in an artifact called persona. Even if it's an app, maybe the GTB that I'll be using now, GTB has a problem. Some people are complaining about their app. You need to take user personas out there to go and know what the problem is. It may just be that the problem is with aged people. They are finding it hard to read through their text. They will put all those information, you will know them. This person is male, female, their age group, and all that. And you'll be able to capture that problem so that when you are designing a new app, you are going to work with the data in your user persona. So this is an example of a user persona. Persona, to give us definition, persona are fictional representation of target users that are created to guide the design of a product or services. Sometimes too, it can be fictional. And I will also tell us to go learn more. There are a lot about pros and cons of using user persona. We can go learn more. We can Google and learn more about it. Reason why I'm saying this is if you maybe search for a job, you may even be looking for a job outside your shore. Maybe you're in Nigeria, you want to look for a job outside the country. They may ask you about user personas. You need to know the merit and demerit of using user personas. But sometimes people will just make up, you know, they can just make up fictional, like this definition says. People just make up, you know, they can just think, you know, let's say you are creating an app for youth, for example, an app that where they will post their videos. Most times you just make assumption. Youth like short videos, they like this. Already I'm making an assumption for them. You may say, oh, the ones in college, you just want 30 seconds. The ones that are maturing more, I'm making assumption already without seeing them. So sometimes personas, when you fill in that information, they may be, so that's some of the demerits. Some people will just create things based on fiction. They just thought about it. They didn't really do proper research. Secondly, they are meant to capture the goals, the need, the preferences, behavior and attitude of users, as well as their context and environment. So the persona is more like a form. And usually there are templates online where you just download this so that you don't have to create your own. Just down is a blank persona that you can take out there and just fill it up. So the persona captures the goal, captures the need, preference, behavior, and attitude of users. Again, persona can help designer empathize with the user and make informed decisions that aligns with the expectation and values. So usually is what the users put in that persona that will influence your design. So the common elements of a persona are usually the demographic. Yes, you need to know, like I said, maybe this GTB Bank, for example. We need to know where the problem, the demographic of people who are actually having problem with it. Is it maybe secondary school students, or maybe campus students that they won't having issues, or is it the middle-aged people, or is it the senior citizens that are having issues with it? So with user personas, we'll be able to get that demographic. Their bio, their quotes, we need to, that's what user persona also captures that. Their goals. What usually when you take out the user persona, you ask them what do they want to see? What difference do they want to see in this app? This app they're already using, what difference do they want to see? Even if, like I said, it may be a new app, the thing has never existed before. Maybe you thought about it, I can create this app. Maybe you want to create an app for students or whatever. You may ask students, okay, what if this app exists? What do you expect from the app? Maybe you define your idea to them. You define your idea to them that you want to create an app that does X, Y, and Z. I'm not going into specific examples because I'm under this thing. There are some applications I'm working with people and I cannot disclose the idea of those people. We've not gone far with it. I'm under obligation not to say anything. I will have said it, but I cannot disclose people's idea to, I'll be breaching the contract agreement, if you get what I mean. So going back to that, so let's say you have an idea, you want to create an app. You may go to the target, to your target audience and ask them, okay, I have this idea, I want to create this app. What do you expect from me? Those are the goals. They will begin to tell you, maybe I struggle with this. Oh, it's been difficult to achieve this. If your app comes out, yeah, I would love it to do this. I would love it to do that. Those are the goals you are going to pick up. You write down all those things are written in user personas. Pain points. Pain points are basically the problems they are facing. So if you ask them, what are your pain points? If I'm using Conga app, for example, and somebody brings a user persona to me, what are my pain points? My pain points may be that maybe when after adding 8 items, if I go back, maybe try to search more product, some of the 8 items, I may not find it anymore. It may be my pain point. My pain point may be that the buttons are too tiny for me. It might be my own pain point. So the difficulties anybody's experiencing while using an app is pain points. So when you hear all these terms in English, they're not anything, anything big like that. So you capture people's endpoints. So these are the contents of a user persona. Sometimes too, you may have to put their pictures, just for, research purposes and all that. So why personas are often not used? Like I said, let's do more assignments and go and research more about these user personas. Some people don't use it, they have their reasons, some use it. But like I said, we are doing this class, want to train us up. You may never tell, you may just get an international job from this. They may ask you, they may require this from you, so we cannot omit it. That's why we're going through it. Why personas are often not used effectively. Number one, personas are fictional representation of user segments, but they are often based on assumption or stereotype rather than data. So sometimes this happens. Like I said, if I'm creating maybe an app for secondary school students, I may base all my assumptions on, anything I feel there. Maybe me and my colleagues, we can just print out 30 copies of user personas, meet one particular evening and start filling it up. We just make assumption. So people do that. So because of that, user personas are not often used. Personas are meant to help designers empathize with users, but they are often ignored or forgotten during the design process. So again, user personas, maybe you actually have a real user persona this time. It is not a fictional one. You've actually gone out there and people are telling you, this app, sometimes I strain my eye to see the close button. I strain my eyes to see that people have put that as their major pain point. Sometimes, like this designer, we said it before, when you are designing, do not design based on your own interest or what you like. Make sure you design what the users want. So sometimes, as designers, these things, they don't empathize with the users. They during the design process, maybe during the design process, because you want the process to go faster, or maybe because the way you've designed the product, you don't want the close button to be big because you don't want it to affect the design. You feel, oh, this is perfect. I love this design. And somebody is telling you, the only problem I have with this beautiful design you've done is that the close button is too small. And you feel if you expand the close button, it will spoil your design. And so most times designers will just ignore. They will refuse to empathize with their users. They will just ignore that pain point and carry on because they love what they've done. Or it may even be maybe because of the error messages the developers, the back-end people are getting. And they are trying to look for a way to just, let's just leave it this way since it's working. Don't let us add additional code or let's make it more complex. Let's just leave it. They ignore it. So at the end of the day, if they do that, of what use is the user persona? Because you didn't capture what people put as their pain point. Of what use is the user persona? So that's why sometimes user personas are not used effectively. Personas are supposed to guide design decision, but they are often too vague or generic to provide useful insights or feedback. Yes, some people, I remember, like I said, I do graphic design. So when I send, they will request a design. I do for churches as well. One thing they do, I'm giving an example. I sent a design to them, and then they have this board of maybe 6 people that review the design before they accept it. One of the things I discovered is when I send design, you now see different feedbacks, like 6 different feedback. Some of them are not artistic. Some of them don't know anything, but because they're in that board, you just see somebody and the address is too small. Another person will tell you that color red, can you change it to green? And maybe you imagine you putting 2 contrasting color together, maybe using green and blue, which does not really go. Someone then will say, oh, that one is too. By the time you have too many feedbacks, I have to speak to them. There are too many feedback. I cannot even implement everything you people are talking about. At the end of the day, you just make a messy job. So sometimes these personas, it comes vague because user persona 1, can request for this. Number 2 will request for that. Number 3, imagine you have 100 user personas and all of them have 100 pain points. How do you put it in one application? It may not be possible. So sometimes user personas may be vague and generic. They don't provide that useful insight or feedback. So we need to, that's one of the reasons why personas are not very used. Personas are created to communicate users' needs and goals, but they're often not shared or updated across teams or stakeholders. We've spoken about that. So like I said, it will do us a favor to go research more about user persona. We won't waste time on that. So who are target customers of Konga app? Yes, I wanted to give us this example. I don't know if we have time. And then, how many is Bro Bayomi there? Yeah, I think we are.
You said what?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to know how long we have spent.
Yeah, I think this is to 11 now, so
like 1 hour.
Yeah, we have 1 hour more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let you know because the other class will be starting by 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go now. Can we all see this Konga on my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
the question I have here says, who are, sorry, I didn't type that properly. Who are the target customers? I said, who are target customers? Pardon me. Who are the target customers of Konga app or website, and what do they use it for? Now, from what you can see here, just a quick one to break the class. From what you are seeing here, can we guess the type of people? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, I said,
we can hear you.
Yeah, the question says, who are the target customer of Konga app or website, and what do they use the website for? Looking at this, what can you say? Who are the target customers and what do they use it for? Can you guess the demographic?
It's for everyone.
All ages.
For
Are you
everyone.
sure?
Mostly
Yeah,
all online shoppers.
Yes, online shoppers. Benedict said young people.
Online shoppers.
Yes, sir.
Final consumers.
Mostly everybody. Since we are in
but this design,
everybody.
this design, who does it appeal to the most?
Oh, the female.
Younger ones.
Exactly.
It appeals to the young people.
To the young people. Yes.
The youth and mid-age class.
Yes, yes. So we are looking at this this website. We are able to pick up a lot of information about it. This website appeals more to younger people as compared to maybe aged people, the senior citizen. Even the choice of color. The choice of color, look at where the advertisement is. It appeals to younger people more than the aged people. And one of the things we have spoken about it, the website is for online purchasing, and it's also for people who do online purchasing. You don't see maybe somebody selling tomato and pepper coming here to order for a bottle of wine. You rather go to maybe Alhaji Mustafa that is selling by the junction or whatever, you know. So this website is more of people who shop online. So this gives us like a view of the product, the end result of all they've done as regard the UI UX of this website. They've gone to do research to know their targeted customers. They want to do research to know some of the pain points of their customers. And you can see everything is clear. The lettering, everything is clear, the text, the choice of color. And one thing I said before, you can see that they did not mix too many colors. It's not that maybe this top is purple, this one is pink, the next one is blue, the next one is red, the following one is orange, and you know, they did not mix too many colors. The common colors now, this pink, this burgundy color, the feel of green, and you can see that's what they just repeated. Pink, burgundy color. That's it, and orange. Perhaps at most they used 5 colors here. They are not using all the colors because you want a beautiful website. And there's green there, there's red, there's orange, there's yellow, there's all sorts of colors. They've toned it down. This is what makes great user experience. And we highlighted all these things in the points. All those points we highlighted the other time. So again, to still let us know, when we talk about creating user, the UI UX, it's not about mobile app alone. Websites are also included, apps for your iPad too, you know, because they are slightly different from the one on your phone. That can also be a product. So we are not limited to mobile apps alone. Apps on iPad, website are also part of the digital product. So your own project, again, like I said, that we should pick a company. It may be that you want to redesign maybe a business website. And we have said the things you need to go research, define the process, the problem, create your ideation, do all those things, sketch it out. Where are the pain points? What are the problems people are facing while using this app? Write all those things down. Then you sketch them. Usually when you sketch, you may have to just do a sketch. Let's say, for example, this website, you do a sketch. So if you discover that maybe this add to cart people having problem with, then you can do another sketch of how you've corrected it. Maybe this color green, you feel the color is not matching. Sorry, somebody talking?
No, sir.
All right. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, so let's go on. So we've used Conga app, for example, to have an understanding, again, of everything we are saying. So we've talked about defining problems from the customer's perspective. Now I want to talk about the business perspective. We also need to define problems from the business perspective. I've spoken about thinking about how they will make money. You know, when you create an app, it's costing you to have that app live and working, because at the back end, you are paying Azure or you are paying AWS. You are paying them for a service. You need to get your money back. A business, you have to make money. So when you are creating an app, you also think about how the person giving you the project is going to make money. If you are creating a website, the person is paying for his domain name, is paying for his hosting. He needs to make back his money. You need to think about how they make, make their money back, how they will stay competitive. So in doing this, how do we do that? We usually either create a business model or you look into the existing business model. So if it's a business that is already existing, you may have to go look into the existing business model. If it's a brand new business, you may have to create this business model for them. Or let's say you are the one who owns the business, you will have to create the business model. So it says a business model is a framework that defines how a company creates, deliver, and capture value. So the company, for example, let's say I want to create an app for a supermarket just down my street. I need to go to them to go ask or know how their business work. How do they sell? What maybe they are planning to start doing home delivery. And in doing home delivery, they want people to make requests using their app. You need to understand that business framework. That, okay, they want the way people will request for product is using an app, not calling them. So the app I'm creating, how do they log in, make requests, all those things. So understanding that business model, it describes how a company generates revenue and profit by identifying the target customer segment, the value proposition, and the revenue stream. We may not know everything about a company. We may just have to focus on a particular thing. For example, now, if I'm creating an app for a supermarket that wants to start, they want to have an app, people can order from their app. I may not necessarily, as a developer, ask them for their yearly account statements. I want to see how much profit they are making. It may not be my concern, but you may just want to focus on what they've hired you to do. But then it's good to have an idea and understanding what the business model is all about. And like I said, you may get a local job, you may get an international job. You discover that when you get a UI UX job, these are the things you'll be dealing with. You'll be understanding the business model of that company. You'll be understanding their framework, you'll be understanding a lot about them. So it's more like you are a business administrator or business person. That's what UX is more about. So it's from that understanding, you now create a physical product for them. So for example, I have LinkedIn here. LinkedIn, for example, their business model is, their major thing is to help people find job. That's what, let's say, the primary thing LinkedIn is out there to do. But one of their business model is for a job seeker that is searching for jobs. LinkedIn provides information about jobs and also gives them access to jobs. So this is what LinkedIn is saying, that we want to be out there for job seekers. We want to provide information about job for them. We want to create access to job posting. So they will have job posting on their website. We want to give people access to it. This, we're talking about things, we are already talking about the business model of LinkedIn. And also, a job seeker who is looking for a job can also put all his goals, all his desires, his academic qualification on LinkedIn, so that employers can look for employers can look for employees on LinkedIn. They can also, we are searching for employers. They go to LinkedIn to find them. They have job posting. We want people to apply. They also post on LinkedIn. And now the business aspect is a placement fee of 10% of the salary of whoever, they're able to, to get from LinkedIn. So sorry. Yes. So if somebody was able to get a job, an employer was able to get an employee from LinkedIn, they know that LinkedIn has an agreement that the employer will pay them some certain amount of money. This is how they make their money. Parents can also, set goals for their children and, put it and see that, okay, I want my child to work in so place. They set the goal. They are watching out all the time, searching for job opportunities for that particular career that child have embarked upon. But in doing all those things, in getting all those information, maybe today they are paying $10 per month. So all this is the business model of LinkedIn. They are getting information from job seekers. They are making money from parents. They are making money from employers. Yes, Mr. Chidi, can you mute your mic? Thanks. So this is more like a breakdown of the business model of LinkedIn. So if you want to just have an understanding of what a business model is, this is just like an example. So element of a business model is, number one, the customer, like we saw the other time. Is somebody looking for a job for LinkedIn that we just finished talking about. For LinkedIn, their customer is the job seeker, are the job seekers, parents, and employers. These are the customers of LinkedIn. So element of the business model is the customer, their target market, who their customers are, what their customer needs. Here, from LinkedIn, we talked about it. Most people here are looking for jobs. The job seeker is looking for a job. A parent is looking for a job for their kids. Employer is looking for an employee. It is a place where people look for a job. So for LinkedIn, the element is what the customer needs are. And again, this brings us back to that persona we talked about. LinkedIn must have gotten a lot of user personas. That's how they were able to put their business model together from what they got from their personas. They've discovered that employees need employers need employees from them. A job seeker is looking for a job. All these things have been written in pain points in user personas that they did. Who knows how many? Maybe they did many types of researches. Another element of a business model is what value the company provides. So what value they provide to solve needs. For LinkedIn, all they are doing, LinkedIn does not have job by itself, but what they are providing is a connection for a job seeker, they are connecting them to employers. For employers, they are connecting them to job seekers. Then lastly, how the company stays viable. How do they make money? Talked about LinkedIn. Employers pay 10% of salary. Anybody that comes from LinkedIn, employers will pay 10% to LinkedIn. Parents pay subscription. I think job seekers too, if you want the premium profile or whatever, you pay subscription to. With all these things, advertisement and all that, they begin to make money. So that's the element of a business model. How do they stay competitive? They need to go look into that. How does the business make money? And like I said, we'll be wondering that why are we going into business? This is all about UX. We need to have this understanding. When we have this understanding, it now helps us, to create a very good product. So business make profit from their customers. How they make money? They make money from their customers. It may be in terms of giving them product, providing product or services. It may be through subscription, like maybe Netflix, for example. They make their money from. They also make one of the sources of their income is subscription. Bundling is, for example, if you go to McDonald's sometimes, they may tell you that you buy this pack. Maybe you buy burger, buy fries, and buy burger, buy fries, and then buy maybe 6 nuggets and a cup of Coca-Cola. They put all those things together and then give you a price. That if, let's say, you bought them individually, it will have been more expensive to buy all those items individually. So they bundle them together and reduce the price. That's what bundling is called. So you may tell people, maybe your business, so you may do bundling. If you pick up this product and this product, everything will give you a 75% of what you ought to have paid. So you can do that. business make from money from all this type of thing. And you always discover that people will, like McDonald's, people will prefer to buy that bundle than buying individually. And before you know it, turnover comes in. People buy more. You now see that they have more sales. They have more sales because they've done bundling. People will now buy more. At the end of the day, the turnover make them make more money. This one says software as a service. That's the definition of SaaS, software as a service. I think LinkedIn, for example, is an example of a software as a service. I think there are some other research on it. You see companies that do software as a service. I think LinkedIn is a very good example. So you're looking for a job, they're giving you that thing for some of the banking apps too can be, or educational app, all those things can be software as a service. So you make money from it. People subscribe to use your product. Or maybe it's an accounting, I think Sage, for example. If a company, you see that the accounting firm is using a particular software and they are paying to use the software, that's how company makes money. Again, you can make money from your marketplace. Maybe through referrals, maybe through transaction fee, maybe through platform access. Can make money from there, from third parties, ad revenue, premium fees, data access. All these things can, business can make money from it. Distribution, franchising. We can go more into all these things in our spare time through partnership, influencers, and a company. So we can do that. And I just put this, a company that makes money from all these things listed here is YouTube. Some companies just make from one section, or maybe 2 or 3, but YouTube make money from all of them. So they have a very strong business model. What value do we provide to the customer? So like I said, we are looking at defining solution. So in defining it, you need to ask those questions. What value do we provide to the customer? Utility, that means the value we are providing, must be convenient for them, tangible, intangible. With their efforts, is helping them out. Maybe you are creating, like I said, maybe you create an app for a supermarket. So instead of people coming down to the supermarket, maybe I'm closing late from work and I need, I'm looking at it before I get home, before I do this, time will be gone, blah, blah, blah. But you created an app where people can pre-order. And then maybe all you need to do is just get to the store. Maybe it's on the way to your house. All you need to do is get to the store. They've already packed it for you, pick it and go. As to you entering into the store and picking the item one after the other, again, you get to the till, you may meet queue and look at you are in a hurry. But because of the app, you are able to pre-order, or they even did home delivery for you. That has helped your customer with, it has helped them cut the effort they are going to put into ordering of item. The time has helped them save time. It's economical for them too. Maybe before I drive down to your store and coming back, you have looked at it. It will cost you time, the traffic on the way, all those things. But you are creating an app that have made it very economical to get that tax done. So when you are looking at all these things, I'm creating an app that will help my customer, maximize in terms of economizing, in terms of their time, effort, intangible, tangible goods, their convenience. You're already solving out problems. Emotion, providing security, providing safety for them, providing relief, calm, fun. They develop an app that's, it's just, people just want to have fun. They want to learn from it. TikTok, for example, people have fun and they learn, they do all sorts of things on it. People even find relief. Some people are stressed out or they just want to laugh. They need relief. So you are providing value when you put all these things into your product. Fulfillment, social status. Look at Instagram, for example. To have that blue tick on your profile, that blue tick. Some people see it as their social status. They pride in it. And now TikTok, I say TikTok, Instagram is more or less now charging for it. You discover that people who would now be having the blue tick, they are beginning to have a social status that, yes, I have a blue tick on my status. But if you get what I'm talking about, Instagram is using it to it's all about making money. How do you make money? That's the summary of everything. That social status people are craving for is a source of revenue for Instagram. So if I'm creating an app, I should start thinking, how do I provide value for my customers? In providing value as a business, I must make money, I must make profit. So whether people fight themselves on having social status or whatever, it's not my business without making money, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. Role fulfilling is one of them, group belonging, sense of accomplishment. Some people like that Instagram thing. Some of them will feel once I have that blue tick, I have like 5 million followers on my profile. They feel this sense of accomplishment. In all these things, it is a business model for Instagram on how they will make money. They are playing on all these things to make money. So these are the elements of their own business model. For business to business, I think the best example of a business, I've forgotten if I remember, I'll say it. Business to business is providing access, is providing information. Yeah, I think AWS is a business to business. You discover that people using AWS are like business to business, usually not like consumers or customers directly to them. It's somebody who needs a business service that will go to AWS, more or less. So I think I can be corrected on that if anybody knows more about that. So efficiency, utility, cost reduction. Like I said, there's Azure, like all these web services, there's Azure, there's AWS. People usually, when you want to create your app, you have to look at which one is best for you, which one will save you money, which one is faster, which one is more available. You are thinking about all those things. And as a business, because your primary purpose as a business owner is to make money. You are not Father Christmas that wants to start dashing out money. All these things you have to factor in your business model. How the services you are choosing, how are they going to make money for us? Who will give us the best price? So in putting all these things into place, these are all the elements of a business model. And because it's business, our primary aim is to make money. I've given us the example like Instagram. Instagram plays on most of the things here. People are having fun with it. People find relief in it. They laugh, maybe because they are stressed, they can laugh themselves out. It provides social status, provides role fulfilling. Some people feel sense of accomplishment. Look at all those influencers. They feel sense of, while people are getting all these things, Instagram in their own business model, they are happy because it's giving them money. So that just gives us like more or less a summary of a business model. Like I gave us an example, an assignment. We need to pick a business. I said it, whether it's an existing one or the one that you may want to develop. You may pick a business to business, and you may also pick a business to customer. Pick one of those. And then our second assignment, I'll repost this on our group. we need to define our personas. Let's come up with maybe 5 personas for the business we have chosen. So this is an assignment for us. Let's come out with 5 personas, at least, if we can get more. And if we can do it, don't let us do fictional personas. Let's talk to people. Let's talk to people. Talk to people, 5 people, 6 people. If you need to do Zoom call with them, if you call people, create 5 personas for the business you have chosen. What are our assumptions about how to use this app or website? So choose a business, maybe they're already existing, they have an app they are using. In that persona, get what people's assumptions are, what their needs are. Is that app meeting their need? Is it meeting their goals? What are their pain points, the struggles they're having using that business app? Pick that business and create a persona for it. Because, like I said, once you pick up this company, this is the company you will use all through the end of this this course. And I think if we have time, we will do presentation. We want to see people who really came out with product. And it's also good for us because if you want to get a UI UX job, they will ask you for your portfolio. They'll ask you for your portfolio. What have you done before? They want to see what you have done before. So that's why we need to take this thing serious. Pick a company, the app they are using, or maybe it's their website. Create a persona from it. Write out their needs, their goals, their pain points. Write it down. If you don't know, I think that if you Google, you see free personas, blank personas that you can print and use. If not, you can see one and just create your own. So let's just take this serious. Let's pick a company, whether it's existing or even it's a company that you want to develop an app for and they don't have any app. You think you can develop an app for them. Create a user persona. Ask them, okay, I want to develop this app. What do you think about this app? What are the things you feel this app should do? You know, their needs. What are the expectations? You know, pain points. Let's say, for example, I mentioned a supermarket. Pain point on a supermarket that does not have an app before is that people, you know, maybe because people queue a lot, they don't have time to be queuing a lot. Is a pain point. Maybe somebody mentioned, if I enter that supermarket now, before I will come out, people are too much on the queue. That's a pain point. That's a pain point you have identified already. They are queuing too much. How do we solve this problem? Okay, let's develop an app so that people can order from home and then we do home delivery. You have sorted the issue of queuing up. Or somebody tells you, sometimes when I go inside, after wasting time, the product I'm looking for, I cannot find it. You may develop the app that they can search for availability of products. I can know so I don't waste my time to go there. You just see that, this location, they don't have it. Like I'm here in America. I have a Walmart very close to my house. It's just with 7 minutes walk, I'll get to Walmart. I can go on Walmart app. If I'm looking for a product, it will tell me if they have it in that store. So I can decide, they don't have it. Okay, maybe when I'm coming back, if I go to town, I'd rather branch another Walmart than for me to, after wasting my time, they don't have it in that store. So finding products can also be a pain point. So we can put all these things down. But by so doing, we're already solving out a product. So we'll take a short break. I think we have a YouTube video to watch. We take the short break and we just take this research and ideation, and then we end up the class for today. From the other one, we're continuing on redefining the idea. We'll create. Once we do this, the company you have chosen will start working more on it. I think from now, like the video that have been sent to us, let's just get to understand the tools and the menus of Figma, how to create a button, how to create a text box, how to put text on them, how to insert an image. Let's begin to learn that. So that by the time we finish this redefining ideas, we'll start creating prototype of the business, that app we have chosen to redesign. Maybe it's an app you think you don't like the way it's working, so you want to redesign it. That app you have chosen, we'll start creating the prototype. Or if it's a new business, we will start creating the prototype. So let's practice or Figma very well now. And also we have that assignment to pick up the business, create the persona, because it is this persona we are going to use to go to this next level. When we sort it out, we now start creating the personas. So let's take a short, we'll create the, we'll then continue in that research and ideation. So let's quickly watch the short clip. Sorry.
Excuse me, sir, please. Sorry.
Yes, any
Just
question?
a
Yes,
moment.
before we go. Yes.
Not actually a question. I just wanted to say if you could put back the screen where the assignment is, so
Okay.
I could maybe take a screenshot or something. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Laudu.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Yeah, a question. When you were explaining persona, you made mention of supermarket, for example.
Yes.
So I'm now looking at if I want to make a user persona in the case of supermarkets,
Yes.
is the owner that I have business talking with, which may just be one person or two persons. Will that be enough for me to make
No,
use
it's
of
not.
as persona?
No, it's not enough. Like I said, I said, if you remember the slide we did, when you are creating a solution, you are defining the problem from two perspectives. Like now, you have only spoken from the owner's point of view.
Owner.
You need to also look at the people who are buying from that store. Do you get me? His internet is breaking. Hello?
I get you.
Yes, so you need to also do persona from people buying from that store. What are the problems they are facing? You need to know it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Did anybody raise his hand?
Then, sorry, sir. I earlier sent a message on the chat. I was asking when you projected the Konga website.
Yes.
So I only just asked how many screens. I'm just curious anyway. I mean, an estimate of number of screens that make up a Konga site.
That Konga site, it will go into hundreds because, for each item. And some of them, the screens are not like, it's a code that puts them together. For example, let's say I've added 5 items on my cart. When you click on view cart, those 5 items, it's not like it's an existing page. It's a code that puts them together. So that Konga website is a very massive,
complex one.
But for our own assignment, when we are creating screen, let's just limit ourselves to 5 to 6 screens. We are fine. Let's just pick one aspect.
Okay, sir.
We cannot do everything. It's too loud. And then Konga, for example, maybe their UI, UX people are up to 20. It's not just one person.
That's one. Okay.
Some people are focusing maybe on one particular product. Some are focusing on electronics. Some are focusing on household goods. Some are focusing on services or subscription. They have different aspects. Like they have different groups of people working on it. It's not just maybe 3 people working on that Konga website.
So well taken, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
At the doctor's office that's providing.
All right, let's watch this 5-minute clip. I don't know if we can. I hope the sound comes up. What happened? Just bring it here. All right. Can we hear the YouTube clip?
Is short.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
What is
Yes,
your
we can.
All right.
It's even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. If someone had told me when I was 20 years old that life was very short and would pass just like that, I wouldn't have believed it. And if I tell you that, you don't believe it either. I cannot get young people to understand how brief life is, how quickly it passes. It seems like yesterday I was in school. Every one of us here has been given the same amount of time in a day. 1,440 minutes a day, 168 hours per week. 70 years God allows us. And it's interesting to me, with all of our medical science, we've never passed that magic mark. The average American male today lives 70 years and 4 months. The average female, 73 years and 6 months. More people live to be 70, but the average age of an American is still 70, as taught in the scriptures. What a thing it is when you think that you have just one short life to spend. I'd write down my priorities in life, and I'd get committed to certain priorities. Now is the accepted time, the things we ought to do, the classes we ought to take, the books we ought to read. Do it now. The family that needs you, spend more time now. Write that letter home now that you've been meaning to write. Money you ought to give now. Time for study, do it now. People you ought to witness to, do it now. Every time the clock ticks, it seems to say now. Today, if you will hear his voice. There may not be a tomorrow for you and for me, because there's a warning to time. Time is running out for all of us. Time is too short for indecision and vacillation. Do not halt between two opinions. Fools say that time is long. Every morning we have 86,400 seconds to spend and to invest. And each day the bank named time opens a new account for you and for me. It allows no balances and no overdrafts. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours. The Bible says, redeem the time, because the days are evil, and the days in which we're living are very evil. If there was ever a time for the gospel that can transform the human heart, it's now. Jesus said, as long as it is day, we must do the work of him that sent us. The night is coming when no man can work. The night is going to come in your life. Yet there was a serenity about the work of the Lord Jesus. It's the quality of life, not the length. Jesus only had 33 years, and it ended on the cross. To the world, he was a failure at that moment. Yet at the end of his life, he said, I finished the work that thou gavest me to do. It doesn't matter whether you live another year or 2 years or 5 years. Will your work be finished? Is there a quality to it? Is there a dedication to it? Suppose all of our members tithe their time to witness for Christ as we tithe our income for the church. Fill your heart with the word of God. I've found that those who know the scriptures are the ones that have the power today. But we need men and women who walk with God. And if you do that, you too can finish the work that God gave you to do. And help us to realize the brevity and the urgency of time. And may we invest what little time we have in the kingdom of God.
Thank you for that. I hope the message of that YouTube is clear to all of us. Is it clear to all
It's
of
very
us?
clear, sir.
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so
Very
much.
clear, sir. Very
May,
clear, sir.
Yeah.
may we apply our hearts to
Uh,
wisdom.
Yes. Thank you very much for the class.
You're
It's
welcome.
well appreciated.
You're
Though
welcome.
for people that are not so deep, it's look kind of complex, but I hope with time it will be as simple as it.
Don't put yourself under pressure.
Okay.
Don't put yourself under pressure.
Okay.
Learn it little, one step at a time. Don't
Okay.
put yourself under pressure.
Okay.
I think I would advise you to still continue in this class. You start seeing, what it's all about, And I'm already, from the way you are talking, I see you as a business person. I'm not a
Exactly, you are right.
I'm not a seer, but I see, African women are very industrious.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
for example, now let's say you have your supermarket as an example.
Yeah.
And you discover that some of your customers, just maybe they come in, immediately they see that there are a lot of people at the queue. They just go out. Maybe the person truly is in a hurry. It's not that I did not want to buy. But when he stepped into your store, me have seen like 6 people, and in somebody's basket, he saw, before this person will put his own on this thing and pay. I don't have that time. The person walks out. That is a problem already that has been spotted. And that's all we are saying is money. That is a problem. So if you go and sit down and say, people I've been noticing, people are walking out from my store because the queue is long. Now you are creating a solution. You're already working on your business model. That thing may just sound like big English, but you sitting down to say, what can I do? Maybe I need to create another tier for people to check out from. You are already working on your business model. So I'm trying to give you a practical example to let you see that it's not that complex. Where we may just be talking of a corporate world. Corporate world, they have bigger fish to fry. That's why they are all may look complex. But for your own local supermarket that you are selling, whatever you decide to sell, anything you notice that people are having problem with, that's their pain. We talked about pain points. That is those people's pain points. You are discovering that this person walked in, he saw queue, he ran away, or the person thought you have maybe groundnut oil, but on your shelf you have sunflower oil. What if you have created an app that will already notify, people will know that today I have groundnut oil, not sunflower oil. So the person will not waste time because they've already seen it on your app that as of today, you have run out of stock of groundnut oil. The person is not wasting time to come to your store for food. They are able to go to another store or pre-order and say anytime you have it to deliver to my house. So that app you are creating to give your customer that problem, you're already solving, you're already in your design process that we talked about. You're already getting that solution. So that's all the thing is all about. It's not big or complex thing like that. It's the everyday thing we do.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Sunday, did you want to ask any question? Sunday,
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, I greet you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sir, please, when you were explaining this thing to her, you talked about a kind of a supermarket are trying to figure out the problem. That's defining the problem.
Yes.
So this is the owner herself trying to define the problem of a supermarket.
Yes.
But I want to know, is this enough for you to carry out this design process? Just the owner alone sitting to define this problem?
No.
Or if
No.
or you also have to go out. If it's the owner, himself or herself that wants to get this design done for our company, is it enough for you to just say get everything for yourself, or you have to also get a persona from others as well?
If let's say I am the business owner, I can identify some of the problem. But like I said, I don't know if you are with us in the beginning of the class. We said in providing solution, you have to look at it from 2 points, from the customer's perspective and the business owner's perspective. So let's say it's my own store. It's not too big. I can print out user personas and be giving it to customers as they come to buy. So when I open my store this morning, maybe I've printed 30 personas. As people come to buy, I say, Oga, please, you have 5 minutes. Help me quickly fill this thing. Let me quickly fill it. Before you know it, you have gotten research and you're defining the problem also from your customers. So you get. Now,
yes, thank you very much.
Is it period? Sorry if I can't pronounce your name properly. Figma is a free app, and that's why we are using it. There's another one you can use, XD, Adobe XD, that one you pay for it. But Figma is a free app. So use it. Figma is a free app. So let's quickly go to the last part of our class today so that we can then listen to our to the organizer of the program. Let's quickly run through that. I think we'll do that in 5 minutes. And then we'll wrap up. So user research, which is the next thing. There are 2 sources of user research. We do the primary one or the secondary one. The primary type of user research is more like the user persona we talked about. You are the source and you are conducting the research. The question Mr. Sonny just asked now, I have my supermarket and then I want to create an app. I have also I've noticed some problems. Because of the problem I noticed and I want to create an app, I have identified the problem as a business owner. Then I can also conduct research. So by doing that, that's one of the primary source of user research. Secondary source is reading articles. You discover that, for example, if you go to GTB, for example, that I mentioned, if you want to install GTB afresh on your phone, when you go to your maybe Play Store or your App Store, if you scroll down, you see a section where you see user review. People will have made comments about that app. That's a secondary way you can do research. That alone, from that session alone, an existing app, while you are trying to install it on Play Store or App Store, you can get the information you need about that app. You can immediately know people's pain points. People are commenting and saying, this app is doing this, I don't like this app, it's doing that, you know. So you can get that from just reading articles, or you watch a video from somewhere. Those are the secondary sources of user research. User research is the main way to uncover user needs. So for you to know what your people need from you, you have to do user research. User research is the main way to uncover users' needs, like I said. User research, you talk to, you look at how users use the product and to uncover problems. Maybe we have to, I'm trying to rush, we still have 5 minutes before I hand over to our people. So when exploring problem, we need data to validate our persona, understand user needs, understand pain points in current experience to improve. So the reason why we are doing researches is to validate our persona, understand what users need, and understand their pain points. All these things, when we understand it, it will now help us to improve. Like I say, if it's an existing app, it helps you, the information you gather helps you to improve the app. Secondly, this is called user research, or so it may be time about user research or design research. If you don't have access to your user, sometimes some apps, if you want to redesign it, you may not really have direct access to the users. You can read reviews on App Store, like I said, or the Play Store. When you want to install the app afresh, you see all those reviews. You can read reviews on channels like Yelp or Reddit. Sometimes people comment about an app. They write about app on those websites. You can go there and review it. I believe there are some apps like that. For example, if you are picking up a bank app in Nigeria, you see where people have talked about the way the app is giving them so much problem. Even you can go to their website. Like I think Apple website, there are places where if you need help, once you search that query, you will see that a lot of people to have commented the trouble they were having with the application. A lot of people have written their own too. So you can read all those things to get people's pain points. So you may then not necessarily go out there to do many type of research. You can talk to stakeholders, ask the salesperson or support team for customers' feedback. You can also do that. So there are many ways we can get research done. From the business perspective as well, there's something called SWOT analysis. For some of us that did business, you will know this will not be strange to you. SWOT analysis, this we are talking from the business point of view. You go and know the strengths, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats that are poses to your business. So you look at the strength of your business. What strength do we have? Do we have larger store as compared to everybody? Do we have frequent supply of products? Those may be your strengths. Your weaknesses, maybe the store is too narrow, the location of the store. Do all these researches. What are the opportunities we have as a store? Maybe you are the only one in that environment. They are coming, is a good opportunity. Threats, is somebody also setting up a new store around you? You need to look at all these things. All these things will inform how you define your business problem. You can find this out from many sources. These are more for corporate organizations. You can find more of their problems on Google, the companies, competitors, website press, and all that. Customer review, you can do customer review through Google, Reddit. You can get from App Store, like we've spoken about this. People may review an app, you get it if you just Google. Sometimes, like me, if I want to install an app, you can just search maybe the name of the app and say, is it good to use? You get a lot of feedback, people talking about the app. You can also connect, you can do connection or private resource. Current or past employees at company, you can ask from them, customer facing function, sales and support, interviews and podcasts. All these things are ways we can do research. We don't have too much time anymore. Maybe we just continue. I think there's still a lot to do. I've also had this assignment for us to, after our persona, we can also write research questions. Research questions, recruit users fitting persona profile and conduct a research method with 2 to 4 total potential or current users of. No, let's leave this one because it's already talking about the current user of an app. Let's focus on the first assignment. We'll continue from there. So I'll pass on to Bra Bayomi. Bra Bayomi, are you there?
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, so
Yeah, good evening, sir.
how was the class today?
Oh, very fine.
Yeah, very interesting,
Very
right?
interesting. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
great,
it's for
Very enlightening, sir.
great. We thank God. So
Please,
I
we
don't
are
know.
going to have. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Please, sir, I hope we are going to have a recorded version of this class.
Oh, so
Because some of us joined late.
Okay, so this class is like we are talking now. In fact, I need to end this. It's broadcasted live on YouTube.
Okay.
I'll just send you the link of the YouTube and then you go and watch.
Okay.
Better. Thank you very much, sir.